Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I want to introduce myself. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And again, thank you for being here today. I know it's not my normal day. I've switched it to Friday from Thursday, so maybe Fridays will work better for me and you. Let me know in your comments. And like I said, be sure you comment when you come on. Say hello, where you're watching me from. And I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get here. Let's go ahead and get into our housekeeping things. Today is Friday, April 17th, 2026, and the month is almost over with already. Let's talk about Paper Pumpkin for the month of April. It is called Lakeside Retreat. You've got until April 10th to sign up for this Paper Pumpkin kit. It says, show your appreciation for the men in your life with cards inspired by tranquil. Oh, wait, I'm showing the wrong one. I'm showing the right one, but I'm talking about the wrong one. Skip back here, swirl. May. And this is the May Paper Pumpkin Kit. And it says Sparkling Celebrations. Oops. It says subscribe until May 10th. And it says create bold celebratory cards perfect for invitations, congratulations, and special occasions like graduations and such. It says makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, pre-cut paper pieces with silver foil, gem embellishments, and the coordinating color that's going to, or the stamping spot that's going to go with this one is going to be the Misty Moonlight. And it says silver foil gives cards an eye-catching finish. So I'm thinking we've got silver foil in there also. All right. After I fumbled that one up, let's go to our next one, which is our add-on dies, which are called Beautiful Blooms dies. And these are available while supplies last. You've got, you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get this one. And it coordinates with our April, May, and June Paper Pumpkin kits. And the item number is, I don't have it on. Okay, item number 168665, and it's $13 to add that on there. And this will also go towards your rewards that you earn on your Paper Pumpkin kits. So that's another added incentive. As you can see, this goes with April, May, and June, and there's lots of dies in there. If you have any questions, reach out to me. And then we're going to talk about the product of the month for April is the Eyelet Blooms dies, and I have that here too. I'm going to show that in a moment here to you, let you have a better look at what it looks like. So let me switch my camera back around for a minute. Let's remove that and we'll put up our screen. All right, this is our Eyelet Blooms dies. And when your order reaches $75, you can add this onto your order for only $5. It's a large die and very pretty. It's kind of lacy. It's called Eyelet Blooms dies. And the item number on this is 167984 if you want to add that to your order. All right, let me get back to what we were doing here. And then we'll switch the camera later after we're done with our introductions and everything. And also for the, this was for March, we still got the Notes of Spring product of the month available yet. In fact, I'm using that today on one of our cards. And you can add that onto your $75 order for only $5. And next we have last chance products in my store, I'm going to put that across the bottom here. scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And any paper products that you might be in need of, you can go on there and shop. And don't forget to check out that last chance products list there too, because there's a lot of things that are discounted. All right, and also I want to put you back to the desktop camera again. I'm going to talk to you about our special that we've got going on right now. I'm going to remove this. Okay. It says earn 2 times the rewards, Stampin' Rewards. And today is the last day to take advantage of that. It says earn double rewards from April 15th to the 17th when you shop Stampin' Up! Crafting products. So instead of only getting 10% in rewards, you're going to get 20% in rewards. And that's just, it's last day is today. So you want to take advantage of that. And also we've got our new Stampin' Up! Catalog coming out. We're going to be doing 3 catalogs a year. Instead of the one big catalog, we're going to have 3 mini catalogs through the year, plus our online exclusives. You want to check those out also. And this is Stampin' Up! It says May to August 2026 catalog. And I can show you the back and the front of the catalog, but I can't show you the inside until it goes live, which is going to be May 5th. So it's only a couple weeks away, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks. So looking forward to using everything that's in there. And I haven't started using any new products that are in there yet because I don't want to show anything that you're not able to purchase. So let me take this back off there. And I'm kind of out of sorts today. I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have 3 cards today. And this is today's card. Let's bring that out here. I'll get all my things out here and get it ready. I've got lots of bits and pieces in here today. I've got everything out of there. Okay, so this is a happy birthday card. It says, wishing you a happy birthday. And I haven't put anything on the inside of this, but we're going to in our main card. So I'll save that for then. And get my instructions out here. And of course, I got to drop them on the floor. Okay, for our card base, we're going to be using our Azure Afternoon cardstock. And this measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. I'm using a new webcam today, so I'm hoping that will do good. It looks good on my side. Let me know what it looks like on your side. Let me bring my comments up here so I can watch. Be sure you comment when you come on. Say hello. And as you can see, there's a like and subscribe button there. So if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure that you click that like button and also subscribe, and then click that little bell and you'll be notified when I go live. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that off of here so I can have a clearer view here. So get that out of our way. All right, like I said, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to go landscape style. And we're going to set that aside for now because we're going to work on the front of our card. And I've got all my bits and pieces in here. I need to get sorted so I don't lose them. All right, just had a senior moment there. I had myself confused. Okay, so the front of our card is going to be our basic white, and this measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I'm going to stamp our images on there, so I'm going to be using all my cards over, my stamps over here. We have those out. We're going to be using the lovely arrangements, and we're going to be stamping this flower here and the leaf. I'm going to grab those. And then for our sentiment is going to come from the Delightful Wishes. The you, so it's going to be wishing, and then you a happy birthday. And this is on the last chance list. It was $20. It's marked down to $14. And this is called Delightful Wishes. Item number 164701. So you might want to grab that before it's gone. All right, let's get back to what we're doing here. I'm going to grab my black Memento ink pad. And we're going to stamp some flowers here. I'm going to stamp, well, first off, I got my designer series paper. Let me get back. And I'm using the 2025 to 2027 in color 6x6 designer series paper. And I'm using this pattern here. And this measures 1.5 inches by 5 3/8 inches. It's going to go across the bottom edge of our basic white. So I'm going to kind of lay it there so I can see where I want to stamp my flower. I want my flower just above it. And pull that down for a moment. And I'm thinking that's good. It's going to cover part of the flower, but that's okay. And then I'm going to stamp another one onto a scrap of basic white. All right, and I've already stamped our leaves, and I used one of our new in colors that's coming out. It is called the Peaceful Pine, and these are pretty cool. They're felt pads instead of our foam pads. So it just snaps on there. It's magnetized, it holds. So we're going to be using the Peaceful Pine to stamp the leaves with, and I've already done that with that. But I'm going to use it to stamp some leaves onto our white layer. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it and stamp. This will lighten after it's dried a little bit. It looks kind of dark at first. And another one right there. See how nice that snaps on there with no problem. No struggling to try to open it like our old ones like these are sometimes. And I'm going to move my stamps aside here, and I'm going to come back in with my Azure Afternoon Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to color these flowers. So I'm going to start with a light Azure Afternoon. I'm going to use the brush end, and we're going to color both of these flowers. I'm not going all the way out to the edges. I want to leave a little white on the outside of the flower petals. So you don't have to be real fancy and real careful how you're doing it. And oops, I'll also do this one while I'm at it. I'm sorry for the noise around here. We've got construction or whatever going on next door across the highway from us. They're cutting down trees and burning, and I have asthma a little bit, so I'm having to have my door shut so I don't get the smoke coming in the house. So that's kind of not good for me today. Guess you call that bad air quality. All right, so there's our light. I'm going to come back in with the dark, and I'm going to just do the center of that flower and do both of those. All right, and then next we're going to run that through our embossing folder, and I'm using the exposed brick. And I have already done that, but I want to show you how I did that. Just line them up in here and just run it through our machine. And it comes out like this. And we'll save that for another card because we've already got that done. And then I'm going to attach this designer series paper to the bottom layer here with our Tombow glue. And I've got a fairly new bottle, so it's coming out of there pretty fast. And I'm going to run that across the bottom here. I did 3 leaves on this one, but the one isn't really showing. It's just showing the top edge of it. And then I'm going to make sure that they're lined up good. And press that down. And then next we have our ribbon, which I'm using the, what's it called? Mossy Meadow and Gold Trim ribbon. And it's kind of sparkly on one side. So we're going to keep the sparkly side up. We're going to place that along our seam there. But I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here. And this isn't Stampin' Up. It's a Amazon brand or something. Haven't found my silicone mat yet. I don't know where it went to. I guess it got legs and walked away. But I'm going to use my tear and tape to run across that seam to hold our ribbon down. This up in the camera view, and I want to put a little bit along the back side to hold the ribbon in place also. We'll string it around the back side. And like I said, it's tear and tape. We don't need a scissors. And then I'm going to just flip that around the back. And I'm going to grab my Take a Pick tool to grab that off of there. This isn't attached very good. Be gentle with it. It's being kind of rough there, I guess. All right, and I think I want this side of my card. Whoops. Getting ahead of myself here. Got to put the ribbon down there first. Jumping the gun here. Yeah, we'll run that across that seam. Bring that back to the back side. And I'm going to trim that excess off. And grab my scissors here. And now we can put that onto our card front. So let me know in the comments if you like Fridays better than Thursdays. I'm kind of open to maybe change my days. It seems like Thursdays I always got something that comes up. I have to change it to Fridays anyway, so maybe it's telling me something. And oops. We've got time to wiggle this around if we need it to, which I did. All right. Get that out of the way. So here we have so far. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to work on our sentiments. And I have already die cut those out already. I die cut using, this is it goes with that Delightful Wishes, and this is Last Chance also. It was $35, marked down to $17.50. And these are Delightful Wishes dies, that's what it's called. And I am using this solid die cut for the wishing, which cut out the white. And then I die cut our Azure Afternoon cardstock using the detailed wishing word. And I placed that cardstock onto our adhesive sheets beforehand, so I don't have to worry about trying to glue it down. So let's go ahead and attach these together. And I've already, no. I thought I took the sticky off of it already. Did I? I want to leave the dot for the eye left in here so it's easier to find so I don't lose it. So I'm just going to lift off the rest of it here and get that to release. All right, and let's see if I can grab the edge of that to lift that paper off of the back. There we go. I don't have any fingernails, so it's hard to grab hold of things sometimes. And we're going to place that onto our shadow, wishing. And I'm just going to line it up and press it down as I go. Oops, that needs to go over a little bit. All right. And let's find that little dot for our eye that was left in there. And we're just going to line it back onto our cutout there and push that out. And I think I lost the one. Oops. I need to take the paper backing off of that first, and it didn't come off. Well, that wasn't as easy as I thought. Let me struggle a little bit here with it. All right, paper, let's come off of you. All right, there we got a hold of it. Maybe. All right, and where's my other eye at? I think I've lost that one. I don't see it. Well, I'm just going to take my blend and I'm going to dot it. So I'm going to use the dark Azure Afternoon. And we'll make our own dot. Oh, it's right there. But it kind of got mutilated. So let's try making a little dot on there with our Stampin' Blend. Yep, that works. When all else fails. So there we have Wishing You. Look at that black ink on my hand already. And we'll set our dies up side. And this is going to go at the top of our card. So Wishing. We'll just attach that with our Tombow glue. I could have put an adhesive sheet on this too, but this is kind of wider, so it's not real hard to put the glue on there. So I wasn't concerned with it. And place that down. And I'm going to grab my big block, acrylic block here, and I'm going to put some weight onto that and let it dry while we stamp our sentiment. And I'm just using our black memento ink. And I'm going to stamp it onto here. So it's Wishing You a Happy Birthday. And so I've already stamped and cut that out. I just cut it at an angle at each side. So we should be able to attach that now. I'm going to use dimensionals and dimensionals. And I've got just a sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to cut a strip of that off and place it along the whole back side. And that way I won't have any sinking going on. So we'll put that on the back of our sentiment to hold that up. And we still got to die cut our flower out here. We hadn't done that yet. So let me bring our machine over here and we'll die cut the flower and the leaves. I'm using my little machine. I call it my baby. And to run that through. And still got to cut it down more. So let's do the flower and then we'll do the leaves separately. And we'll use the dies that go with that bundle. These are the Lovely Arrangements dies. And grab this one and the leaf. Flower. I could probably run a couple times here and get that lined up. Got some washi tape here that I've used before, which is still good. We'll use that. And we'll put our leaf up there and do the same. Hope everybody's had a good week. Hard to believe that today's Friday already. Y'all got any plans for the weekend? I don't think we do. Just our normal things going on, I guess. All right, one more leaf. Can put our machine back aside. Pretty breezy out there, and these guys are burning. That's kind of scary. They just lifted our burn ban yesterday. All right. And there's our flower and dies, scrap paper. Clean up our area a little bit here. 2 leaves. All right, and we're going to grab our leaves here and we're going to place them a dry fit. And then we want this right above that. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and attach our leaves down. And up there. I'm going to place my flower onto dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals. And I think I'll put 3 behind it to hold it up, okay? Probably hear the chainsaws. And right about there. Let me place it right about there. And then I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm going to place that down. And right about there. It's a little bit crooked. All right. Okay, so there's the front of our card. Wishing you a happy birthday. And let's work on the inside. I'm going to be using another stamp set that's on our last chance list, and it's the Coneflower Celebrations. It was $24. It's marked down to $19.20. And I'm going to say, wishing you a happy birthday. And I'm debating on, I love that I've known you for so many birthdays, or it's your day. Or it could be, I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. But I think I kind of like this one. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. We're going to stamp that. And an inside layer is basic weight, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And let me get that stamp out. I think it's this one. Yeah. And grab a block here. Yeah, I need a little bigger one. And I'm just going to use our black memento ink to stamp that with. I'm just going to stamp it right smack in the middle. Close that. And put that on the inside of our card. I didn't do something. I forgot to do something in my description of my video. Maybe I can go back in and edit it afterwards. All right, so here's our first card. Wishing you a happy birthday. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. And if you wanted to, you could stamp another flower on the inside. But I do have one that I've already cut out. This is a smaller one. I think I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the inside just to doll it up a little bit. Why not? I've got it already done. I might as well use it. Yeah, I like that. And I didn't put any other embellishments because I've got the glittery gold in the ribbons, so I didn't think it really needed any more bling. All right, so that's card number 1. Let me move some things out of the way here. Make some room. All right. So our next card is going to be a wedding card. And I've used a window sheet with it. It says Wedding Wishes. We're going to do some gold embossing. And on the inside, to the happy couple. I think my husband's going to come in the house here. Hope he doesn't disturb us. Move things out of the way. Here, make some room. Okay, here we got, this is our Pretty in Pink cardstock. It is going to measure 4 1/4 inches by 9 1/2 inches. And we're going to score it at 5 1/2 inches. He forgot I was live. All right, 5 1/2 inches. Score, don't cut. And then we're going to take that other flap that's shorter, the short flap, and we're going to cut that 1 1/2 inches off of that. And save that because we're going to be using that. So 1 1/2 inches off of the small flap. And it's going to fit like this. All right, so let's set that aside for a moment. And then next we have our Designer Series paper, which comes from, this is called the Lovely and Beautiful Designer Series paper. I'll get that out of the pack here so we can show you better. So very pretty. It's got gold in with it. And we're using this pattern right here. And I've got 2 that are cut at 2 3/8 inches by 4 1/8 inch. And then I've got 2 that are cut at 1 3/8 inches by 4 1/8 inches. So we're going to go ahead and attach those to our card front. So these will go here. But first I want to put our window sheet in there. And our window sheet measures 2 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. You can't really see it. So I'm going to put my tear and tape on this inside layer of this one. And we're going to just run it across the bottom of that seam. And the other one is going to go onto that lower flap that we cut off. And making sure I've got the right side here. And stick it to my fingers here. So put that right up against the edge. I'm going to put another one to hold it onto a, well, no, we don't have to. Just the one. I was thinking I had to glue it to the card, but nope, we don't do that. My husband's got me off Custer here, interrupting me. So I'm going to place this one on this one first. And it's going to go like this. So and just press that down. Just make sure I don't have any tape sticking out the back side of it to stick it down to the card where we don't want it to. And I'm going to place that down even with our bottom of our card. And I think I'll set something there just to hold it in place. And then we'll attach this one to the top of the window sheet. Get that to lift off of there. All right, and that's still even, so we're just going to press that down. Give it a good press. And there we have our window sheet. All right, did I burnish that fold line? I don't think I did. Let me burnish that. And then next we're going to attach our Designer Series paper to the top of this one. And it's not directional, so I don't have to worry about that. Leave a small border going around it. And we'll grab our smaller one to place down here. Let me get you in the camera view here. And it goes here at the bottom flap. Okay. But then when we open our card, we don't want this yucky side showing, so we're going to go ahead and add some more design series paper to that so it covers that seam up. Because you can see through the window sheet to see the tear and tape there, and it's not real pretty, so we want to hide that. And this measures the same as the front side. And we're going to do some heat embossing too when we finish this, so we're not done yet. There we have that. I think I could move my camera up a little bit. I think it's kind of close to my table, but next time. All right, then next we're going to grab our embossing powder and use scrap paper here. Use this. We got gold embossing powder and our toolkit and our Versamark ink. And then we're going to stamp our sentiments. Okay, we've got wedding wishes, and on the inside to the happy couple. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside first, but I'm going to lay my basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to just lay that layer inside so I can get an idea where I want to put the happy couple on the inside. So what I'm going to do is take a pencil and lightly mark where that might be. I think right there. Bring that back out of there. And then we'll use our embossing buddy to get rid of any static cling that doesn't stick where we don't want it to stick. And I'm out of the camera view here. All right. I had to focus there. It was blurred up on me. I guess I was moving my hands too fast. And we'll ink that up with our Versamark ink. And I'm going to stamp that as close to that right side as we can get it. And then I'm going to have a strip of paper here for that. I don't think I did. I'm going to grab a strip of paper, which is just one of our cutoffs from our cards that we make, and I'm going to just use that to stamp our wedding wishes on that. Words are hard today. I can't talk. And we're going to stamp that. And I'm hoping that's wide enough. It's going to grab all of that. Let me give that a check. I think it is. Close that up. And Put our embossing powder on there. I think that's good. Wedding wishes. I think that's good. All right, and we can dump this back into our jar. Lid back on there so we don't blow it all over the place with our heat tool. Now right here, we're going to bring that over and we'll let that warm up for a little bit. It's flapping in the wind here. So that's started in. So half a couple. And I'm going to grab my pencil back here and we're going to erase that little smudge that I made to mark my spot. And now we can put that back into our card. The embossing powder here. And make sure we're not upside down. We'll put that back into the inside of our card, centering it. And my paper's kind of warpy a little bit. I should have done the reverse side with the heat tool to straighten it back out, but I think that'll work. We're going to place this onto there and hold it down. Let that dry. We're going to snip this off. And that'll go across our top. You could put that up on dimensionals if you wanted, but I'm just going to glue it directly down. I was trying not to get glue on my fingers. That's easier said than done. Okay, wedding wishes. And that should be laying flat now. All right. Wedding wishes to the happy couple. And then next we have some pieces that I cut out from that paper. And I have colored that using our Pretty in Pink Stampin' Blends and our Old Olive. So I'm going to These are going to be my outside flowers, and these are going to be the inside flowers. So I'm going to use our light Pretty in Pink. Color that with. And this is just an edge of the paper, which works good because we're just going to glue it to the edge of the inside of the card. A little pink on those petals. And then I'm going to grab my old olive. This is a light old olive, and we're going to color the leaves. All right. And now we're going to start attaching these. And we'll do the outside one first. And I'm going to place that down so it's not covering up my sentiment on the inside. So right about there will be good. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this top leaf to hold it in place. And right at this little petal here. And part of the leaf there. You don't want to cover up your sentiment. So I'm going to put that over there. And I might as well do the inside before we add our ribbon. I'm going to just attach this right at the bottom here. And you can put glue on the entire cutout. And I'm matching it up to the side of my basic white cardstock. And see, you can't even see it on the outside. It's covered with that other flower. And I've got an extra leaf. I don't know. I think I'll just save that for another time. And then I have done our baker's twine, the white. I used my light Pretty in Pink Stampin' Blend to color that with. And I made a triple bow. And we're going to place that right there. So I'm going to grab my mini glue dots. And we'll attach that right here in the corner of that leaf. And kind of flip out my bow here. Just to give it some dimension. All right, so here we have our first card. Let me trim that tail of that twine. Shorten a little bit. So, wedding wishes to the happy couple. And there's the inside. So that's using a window sheet. Kind of a fun fold. All right, so that's card number 2. And then we've got card number 3. I am using the March product of the month. And don't forget that these colors are going to be retiring starting next month, May 5th. They will no longer be in the catalog. So it is, the colors are, where did I put it? I had it here. Well, I have misplaced it. I just had it a minute ago. Well, I'll find it before we end today. Like I said, we're going to be using the Notes of Spring. This was the March product of the month, and it is still available. With a $75 order, you can get it for $5. It's very cute. And I've done a lot of the prep work on this, so it shouldn't take too long to put together. And my clock battery died. I need to put a new battery in my clock. Yeah, we're good with time. Hasn't even been an hour yet, so we're good. All right, so I'll find my card here so I can show it and get started. I'm going to change up our designer series paper in this one. I'm going to go with the little darker one. It says, especially for you. And then on the inside, I've got a little deer there, and it says a little note of thanks. So we always need thank you cards. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. That's our inside. We don't need that yet. So we're going to burnish that fold line. A bone folder here. And we're going to go with this view. And I'm using this die, which is in the Forever Florals. And it's this one right here that we're using. And then we're going to be using both of these dies and the leaf. Here's the die. And I've already die cut my designer series paper, which comes from a beautiful gallery 6x6 paper. And it's got different ones in there. There's 48 sheets. And I am using this pattern here. I've already die cut that out. I did have the other one die cut already too, but I think I've changed my mind. So it doesn't really show. I'm thinking this one will show up better. I like it better. So that's what we're going to go with. And I've already die cut that. And that was die cut from our designer series paper, which was 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then, of course, it was die cut. So we're going to go ahead and attach that to our card front. And I'm going to add our glue just around the edges, the borders. I feel like I forgot to tell you about something, but I don't know what that would be. I told you about the Stampin' Rewards, our paper pumpkin. Oh, I forgot to tell you to join my team. You'll get your starter kit for $99. You'll pick out $125 worth of products, and that includes free shipping. And you don't have to do what I do. You can just do it to get your discount, which is you start out at 10% discount, and then you can make that grow the farther you get along with it. Like I said, you don't have to do what I do. You can just do it for the discount. All right, so isn't that pretty? I like the darker designer series paper better. Better than this one. All right, then next we have our larger label, which is cut out of Lost Lagoon. And then the smaller label, which is right here. I cut our basic white, and then I cut out the leaf from Lost Lagoon with the leaf die. So we're going to start by stamping our deer onto our basic white frame. And let me get our stamps here, especially for you, our deer. A little note of thanks. And okay, for this, the deer has a two-step stamping, which does the outline and then it stamps the inside of the deer. And I'm going to be using crumb cake stamp pad to do this with. This is one of our old pads here, but it still works, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And I'm going to stamp the outline of our deer with the crumb cake. And are you in camera view here? I guess we are. All right, and then next we're going to do the center of him, but I'm going to stamp that off once. I'm going to bring my scrap paper back over here. And as you can see, that's what I've been doing. Stamping it off once to make it a little lighter. And then we're going to hover over our image and color him in. So he's a little lighter. He's not real dark. And I'm going to grab a thin, oops, that's a gold, a thin basic white scrap here. And this is probably, this looks like it's a 1/2 inch. I want a skinnier one. Let me grab, I keep all my scraps here. Probably this one right here would work. And that's probably 1/4 of an inch. So see, I keep all my little scraps that I cut off of my card bases to use for my sentiments. All right, and especially for you. So we're going to stamp with our crumb cake onto this. Especially for you. And we'll set that aside for now. We'll work on the inside afterwards. And like I said, our Lost Lagoon was a larger label. And we're going to attach these together. Stampin' Up! Is going to have a price increase on some things too, so you might want to get your order in before the new catalog goes live on May 5th to be able to get it a little less than what it's going to be in the new catalog. So, like everything in this world today, everything's going up in price. It doesn't matter what it is, gas or food or whatever. Everything's getting higher. And we're going to place this label onto dimensionals. And I'm going to put 6 of them, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and then 2 in the middle. And we'll take your pick tool to grab those off. If you're not already working with the demonstrator, I'd appreciate your business to shop with me. That supports my business here. Allows me to continue my lives free. And we're going to place that little guy right in the center of that cutout. And then we're going to snip this off with our snips. And I'm going to snip it at an angle on both sides, keeping both of them going the same direction. And place that right along there. I'm going to put a small dimensional onto this one side and I'm just going to snip off a little corner edge here. And make sure I got it on the right side. It'll go on the right. And lift that off and add some glue to the other side to hold it down to our label. And set straight. Especially for you. And then we're going to grab that leaf that was cut out, and we're going to place that up here at this corner. And I've already put a little dimensional on one leaf, but I'm going to put glue on the rest to hold it down. You don't have to add it to all the leaves. I just put on 3 of them there, I guess. And move that backing off. And situate that where we want it. I think probably right about there should work. We don't want to cover up the deer. Okay. And then we're going to add some embellishments to that. And this is the faceted snowflakes. This is in our last chance area, and it was $10. They're marked down to $9. So these are while supplies last. So you might want to hurry up and get in there and get while they're still there. And I'm going to add 3 of the larger. Well, I'm going to go with the medium size. And I'm just going to place them 3 on top of the flower centers is where I'm putting them of our designer series paper. And right there. I like to do odd numbers, so it's usually 3s of my embellishments. So here's the front side of our card, especially for you. But let's work on the inside. We've got our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to grab our stamps back for our deer, and we're going to stamp that on the inside, the same as we did the outside. So the full strength with the outline, and then stamped off for the inside of the deer. And I'm just going to put that down at the bottom right-hand corner. And grab our paper back over here, stamp off. Stamp it off. And line it up with our image. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment right next to the deer, and that says a little note of thanks. Close that up. And we can put that on the inside of our card. And attach that. All right. Especially for you, a little note of thanks on the inside with that little deer. So I hope you enjoyed the cards today. There's a variation there. And I'm going to bring all of our cards out here to see if I can fit them in the screen. Which, not really. Yeah, no. I've got to move my camera up so I can get a better view here. So here's the first one. Wishing you a happy birthday. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. And then our wedding card, which says Wedding Wishes. And this is a window sheet card. Wedding wishes to the happy couple on the inside, which it shows through. So you can read both sentiments at the same time. And then our Notes of Spring card, which are with our little deer, especially for you, and a little note of thanks on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed our cards today, and you'll tell your friends about me and come back and join me next week. I'm thinking I might kind of stick with Fridays. Let me know if that works for everybody, and or if there's another day of the week that you'd rather have. I'm open to suggestions. So until next week, y'all have a good weekend. Hopefully you'll get some me time in there to be able to do some crafting, whatever your passion is, cards or scrapbooking or any other paper products, 3Ds, whatever. So thank you for being here. Bye-bye.